Mr. Magoo says Jets knocked it out of the ballpark on day one. I agree. I think day one set themselves up to have a big-time weekend. Let's be real. It's very rare when you come away with 3 players in the first round. It's only happened 3 times in Jet history. Feels like it happens more often because it did just happen back in 2022. And it kind of felt like 2022 when the Jets so desperately needed the pass rusher that draft. And we're all waiting for them to, make a move and get that pass rusher maybe at 4 or 10. They don't do it. And then it's like, oh, no, are they not going to be able to get one of these guys? Then they traded back in and took Jermaine Johnson, and we were pumped. Kind of felt that way with the wide receiver in Omar Cooper's case. Like, oh, yeah, like we like the corner pick with Sauce. And, yeah, Garrett Wilson's awesome. But, man, we really need that edge rusher. Well, they got that guy. And then this year it's, well, yeah, like Bailey's really good. Sadiq has a chance to be awesome. But, man, they need a receiver. And they got that guy in Omar Cooper, who I think is just so solid. I think he'll end up being the fan favorite from this draft class, him or Pons, ironically, both from Indiana. Pons is just fun, man. The guy's high character, baller. I think he's going to help. And we were off the air by the time the Jets drafted Cooper and Payne. If you just look at the value that the Jets got on those picks, so you look at the consensus, you look at Dane Brugler's breakdown, they got really good value with both those players. So last year they lit picks on fire on day 3. I want to give credit to Darren Muji for seemingly learning from that. The Klubnik pick, I think they reached, but that's all Frank Reich. Like, this is the guy he wanted. It's a little, I don't really look at quarterback the same way I look at other positions in a draft, right? Like quarterback, it's, you love a guy, go get him. I think they could have got him at 103 and saved 2 forts and then maybe still had Darrell Jackson or whatever, but okay, fine. But quarterback aside, I think the Jets got really good value with all their picks. Like, seriously, Bailey was either going to go 2 or 3. Sadiq was going to go in the top 20. Cooper was going to go in the top 20, top 15 in a lot of people's mocks. Pons, top 50 player for sure. You got him at 50. Most people thought he was probably a top 30 player. And if you look at Payne, 4th round graded guy in Brugler's draft guide, Cooper, another guy above the consensus. So really the only quote unquote reach was Klubnik, and he's a quarterback. So I think you got to be excited with the draft class. Now, this puts immediate pressure on Aaron Glenn to win games. Yeah, I was texting with someone inside the Jet organization about their draft class, and it was, quote, we got better this weekend. Now we got to win some games. Like, they know. Like, all this excitement, we've done this. Now it's on the coach to have this team ready to go. And it's about being able to implement modern strategy with these players, not being out-coached, out-schemed. The Jet Carpetbagger checks in. Been a good weekend. The draft sparked some much-needed hope. Thank God, right? We needed some hope.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh, my God. Let's go.
Yeah. We're all happy around here. Even though those calls with Woody are so cringe every time you see them, but I digress. It is what it is. Wayne Corbett signed jersey. I'm holding it in my hands. I will send it to a winner today. If you are the winner, make sure you enter the Asmaniac raffle for your chance to win. We'll see if we can get Will back on with us here. He's having some connection issues from his car, but I appreciate everyone in here. Right in the chat, your grade for the New York Jets. Grade the draft class. Kyle Clifton says it's a real good draft. We know Kyle is a draft connoisseur, so he likes it. Will writes in, still added Surratt. They would have had 3 Indiana picks. They could have added Surratt, but it didn't work out. Leon says people act like Sadiq didn't produce. He led all tight ends in the nation with 8 touchdowns last season. He didn't have a ton of receiving yards. Like, he only had like 500 something. But again, how they used him is important in the context here. Kenyon Sadiq should be out there all the time. And just his presence alone will allow the Jets to check into certain plays. Like, if you see a certain look, Geno could audible out of it to a run or to a pass based on how the defense is going to, appear to play the Jets. Like, when you can run 2 different tight end sets now with Mason Taylor in line and Sadiq as the power slot, you could do a lot with your play calling. And other than Aaron Glenn, the most important coach on the Jets this year is Frank Reich by far. Because there's enough offensively for this team to not suck. Again, I don't think this team is going to be a playoff team. I don't even know if they're going to be able to win 7 games, but they should. If Aaron Glenn's play calling is superpower, if Aaron Glenn's play calling is his superpower, and the Jets have invested immensely in their defense, including the number 2 pick in the draft, and they have a quarterback who 2 seasons ago threw for 4,000 yards, they have a running back who went over 1,000 yards, a wide receiver who's gone over 1,000 yards, every year in the league he's been healthy for. They have a rising tight end in Taylor. They added 2 pass catchers in the first round. They have 2 bookend tackles with a Pro Bowl level guard in Joe Tippmann. Why can't this offense score points? Why not? So let's see. Voice of Reason says, people are so phony. Everyone was down on not getting Reese and unhappy about taking Sadiq, and now everyone loves it. So I don't think people are like disgusted with the Bailey pick, though. Again, I wanted Arvell Reese, but I've said from the beginning, I'm not going to be that like angry if they took Bailey. He better be really good right away. Because the messaging from the Jets is we needed someone to help save the coach's job. We needed someone to produce right away. And the Jets could not deny it all they want. It got out when Albert Breer, Todd McShay, Daniel Jeremiah, they all say with conviction it's going to be Bailey, and it's the same messaging every time. And then it kind of feels like the Jets canceled Bailey's visit to try and like get people to think they were going to go Reese. And for a lot of us, it worked. I thought at the end of the day they were going to take Reese, but it didn't happen. But ultimately, the only thing that matters is if David Bailey's a good player or not. And I think he will be. Now, I do think Reese is going to end up being better, but that doesn't mean Bailey can't be good. And ultimately, if you look at the players they added after Bailey, I didn't love Sadiq in real time. Not because I don't think he's good. It's just like if the Ravens took him, oh, he's going to be awesome. The Rams took him, he's going to be awesome. I'm like, the Jets are really going to have a tight end be their number 2 receiver this year. But then you got Cooper, so you feel better about the room overall. And I think A.D. Mitchell is underrated and has a chance to be a lot better this year. M123 writes in, since 2022, Geno has the 5th most passing yards in the NFL. I mean, Geno Smith's thrown for 4,000 yards 2 of the last 4 years. The Jets have had 1 quarterback that's ever done that. So keep that in mind. Rex Ryan checking in. What up, coach? The Bailey pick proves the national media was right. Glenn chose floor over Reese's ceiling because he's coaching for his job. Safe over ceiling. Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh my God, let's go!
I mean, Frank Reich is certainly happy with the Sadiq pick. All right, Asmaniacs, listen up for a second. No matter what you're watching, whether it's New York sports or any game you didn't plan on caring about, there's no better way to stay locked in than with PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy made simple. You're just picking more or less on player projections. That's it. No complicated lineups, no nonsense. Just you versus the numbers. And here's why I love it. Even if it's a game you normally wouldn't care about, once you got a lineup going, you're locked in. Every play matters, every drive matters, every at-bat matters. I've been mixing sports too. Maybe a little football, throwing some baseball, maybe some basketball, and now you've got action across the board all night, and PrizePicks makes it even better with features like early cash outs if your picks are hitting, the ability to mix multiple sports in one lineup, and you can even see what other people are playing and tail their picks. So if you haven't tried it yet, what are you doing? Download the PrizePicks app right now. Use code HMA. That's HMA, and you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, it's HMA on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. Conversation. Let's start it up with our guy, Amsterdam Jet fan, who's out in Amsterdam. What's up, Rick?
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Happy post-draft. I gotta say, for me, it was an A+. I know it's been a lot of debate, but for me personally, it was for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, like I'm a casual college football fan, so I don't really watch that much. Highlight shows here and there, and the playoffs I'll watch. But all of our first 4 guys were people that I watched, remembered, thought at the time, like, oh my God, that'd be a great player for the Jets, and there's maybe only 4 or 5 other people in the entire draft that I had that. Obviously Fernando and Ty we didn't want, or I knew Dylan Thieneman and Ruben Bain and of course Sonny Styles and stuff like that. But
how about the fact Bain went 15, by the way? It would have been interesting to see what the Jets would have done if Bain was there at 16.
That, after Bailey as well, I don't know. But, I actually wanted Kenyon. I'm blanking on his name now. The tight end.
Kenny Sadiq.
Sadiq, jeez. I wanted him the first place, actually, more so than a lot of the receivers. I was actually hoping that all the receivers would be gone, so they would pick Sadiq. Turns out they picked him anyway, even though a few were still there. And then on top of that, you get, well, I think it was Connor Rogers' third best receiver. So some people had Cooper at 3 or 4. I don't know I don't know if I saw a mock at all that had all 3 of those options in there. So for me, that was, surprise, A+. Pons also, I think everybody, I think Will also repeatedly had already pegged him as a Jet for weeks now. So from that, obviously the first 4 picks, I think everybody feels good about. The sour taste in the mouth from Klubnik, I'd also like to throw some perspective in there because we actually didn't give up a pick for him. If you go back to the beginning of the draft, we started with 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 fourths. And then we ended up with 3 firsts, 1 second, and 2 fourths. And then with the last one of those, the 6th, we chose Klubnik, also with a higher draft than we started with in the first place. So, if you plus and minus that all, it's like we actually gained all throughout that. And we got the developmental quarterback, of course. I mean, I don't know how much worse or better he is going to be than the other guys that were left. I certainly didn't watch any of those guys.
It's all a crapshoot on day 3. So again, I'm not even anti-Klubnik. I just didn't think they needed to trade up to do it. But if that's my only gripe, it's day 3, people. The biggest thing is they got the first 2 days, I believe, correct.
Yeah, and like I said, they traded up at the time, but that's only because we got the extra picks by going down to get Pons, who we would have picked at 44 in the first place. So it's like, to be honest, I think it's all very, very good GMing. I'm very impressed. I think all the other day 3 guys besides Klubnik, I think everybody's also quite up on. I looked up some film today on those guys and was like, oh my God, they're all very trait heavy, athletic. What a 6'4",
if you look at analytics,
350-pound D tackle. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, the Jets. If you look at like RAS score, the Jets had one of the most athletic, trait-driven draft classes in recent years. All the analytics people too really liked the Jets draft, and that's not everything. But again, it's funny. I think there's actually been more negativity from some Jet fans than the national media that covers the draft. The Jets have received pretty much across the board universal praise for their draft class.
Can you imagine if they would have taken Carson Beck or something? You would be down 10,000 subscribers by now.
It's unbelievable. Here's the RAS score graphic, Rick.
Does this to us? What is going on?
I mean, you can see it right here on the screen. They got to update the right Jet logo, but the relative athletic score for the Jets picks. I mean, look at the green on the chart there. A lot of green. The only green that's not there is for Klubnik, and he's a quarterback, so it's a different conversation.
No, exactly. So I mean, I'm all for it. I think Muji's taking control of this whole situation personally. I love Glenn still, but I think he's just got a limit to what he can do. Like from a communication standpoint, he should just be a football guy and do football things with the football players. And hopefully, that doesn't mean he's going to lose us any games or anything. But I mean, it's a fantastic future. It's a fantastic landing spot for the next year's person. I mean, we're going to have one of the best O-lines, 4, 5, 6 weapons. It's like, hello, new quarterback. If that's even necessary, right? We'll see. I mean, Gino will do what Gino does, but I think it's for me personally, it's A+ draft for the reasons I just said. I didn't know half the other guys. I know all these guys, and they're all Jets. And like, what the hell? I don't think I've ever experienced that. So,
I'm right there with you, Rick. Great call, man. I appreciate the gift of memberships as well. Good luck in the raffle.
Hey, Jake. I'm so happy for you, man. You do what you love. I mean, this isn't work for you. This is fun, and this is life. So awesome work. Great.
I'll tell you what. Man. You're right, and it's even better when it's actually like positive stuff to discuss with the Jets.
Yeah, it's amazing just to see your energy, and I know that it was a great draft. That really helps re-energize. So I think we saw flat max, fat max, and mute max all in succession just now. So anyway, I was curious. Here's one of my dumb questions, but I don't mind you asking. What would fire you up the most to happen first with those first 4 picks that we had? Bailey gets 2 sacks, or a Kenyon Sadiq touchdown, or an Omar Cooper touchdown, or a D'Angelo Ponz interception. What would get you the most fired up out of those things, or something else?
Well, winning games will get me the most fired up. I'd
Sure.
like that to be on the record. So what are my options? It is a Bailey sack.
Let's say 2 sacks, because he'll probably get a sack in his first game, because that would be pretty awesome. But let's just say 2, just to keep it an even playing field. Let's say like 2 sacks for him would be like the same as like a Kenyon Sadiq touchdown, or an Omar Cooper touchdown, or a D'Angelo Ponz interception. Just try to keep it on equal footing.
Well, if Ponz gets the first pick that the Jets have had since week 18 of the 2024 season, I think that might be the most exciting moment if it happened in like a big spot.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Sadiq scoring a touchdown would be pretty sick. Like the Jets got this like new shiny toy, modern NFL offensive weapon. Like, I think that'd be pretty awesome.
That's what I look for. That's what I love the most about this draft class. Like those top 4, they're gonna make plays. They're gonna get the crowd riled up. I love it. Like, no offense to a lineman. Like, if we had Vega, it would be great, but like Vega won't get the crowd noise up. Like, any of those things I just mentioned are going to get the crowd fired up and get us feeling like, oh my God, we're like a real team that could do really interesting things. So I think that's going to be really exciting. And also Ponz, being short, I think he's going to bring that Wayne Corbett energy. I think that we're going to treat him like the defensive version of Wayne Corbett, and we're also going to love him for his size and what he can do despite his size.
Look, I think Ponz is, he's a freak athlete, man. I mean, what was his 40 time? Like, I love Wayne Corbett, but like Ponz is a different level of athlete,
Yeah. Oh, and he runs backwards. That's the cool part. Like,
yeah. I mean, D'Angelo Ponz. I mean, you watched him as an Indiana fan. That was probably my that was either that or the Cooper trade back in was my favorite like move or pick that they made over the weekend.
Oh, I like jumped out of my bed with the Cooper trade up. That just like made my day. I was so happy about that. Like, that was because it was getting a little dark, because I'm realizing now like the appeal of Sadiq, and I think the Sadiq's going to be awesome. And he's going to be really fun to watch and play. Just don't expect 1,000 yards out of him like we've been getting out of the top tight ends the last couple of years. We're like, all of a sudden now we expect 1,000-yard seasons from tight ends. That's a new thing in the NFL. We weren't used to that. Used to be like 500, 600 would be good. So let's go back to like that expectation, especially when he's sharing time with Mason Taylor, and Mason Taylor could be open too now. So like, who the heck knows? But I think there's a lot to look forward to. I think that the games are going to be really exciting. I'm personally very excited about the draft in DC next year. Let's go. It's going to be the best draft yet. And it's going to be 1 million people. I think it'll exceed 1 million people in the first 2 days, because I think there's nothing like the National Mall to like get everybody coming. And it's going to be a zoo in DC next year.
Did you see the renderings of what it's supposed to look like according to Adam Schefter's tweet this morning?
What? Show me what was the rendering?
Take a look right in front of the Capitol building.
Wow. I can't really see it, but I'll just pretend like I'm wowed by it. But like, I think I'll tell you what, it'll like go, it wouldn't shock me if like the entire National Mall was occupied, like, and like people just hang out in the Lincoln Memorial and like tailgate and watch it there too. Like, it's going to be an incredible scene. And of course, of all the drafts, it's going to be an amazing, another like 3 first-round draft pick. And maybe we'll get our quarterback of the future there too. Maybe that's like the arch coronation day for us. And hopefully we'll have a great QB for a while, or whoever else comes up. Who the heck knows these days, right? And because what is real anymore? I was that Big Phil, a Chef Kev video, man. I was like, I don't even know what's real anymore. Was that AI? Was that real? Like, I can't. I don't even know now. So,
it was real, all right, and it was spectacular.
Spectacular. Good on them for putting that together. I love this community.
Boy Green, call in if you're around. I want to get your thoughts on the weekend. Rich Eisen said that if the Jets keep and use all their 3 first-round picks next year, they would be the first team in NFL history to have 3 first-round picks in back-to-back years. Wow. But I believe it. I mean, you very rarely see a team get 3 first-round picks. Think about it. To acquire extra first-round picks, you have to have trades of really good players to get you first-round picks in return. And very rarely do you trade a guy like Quinnen and Sauce or a Jamal Adams. And remember, the Jets, they were only supposed to have 2 first-round picks in each of those years, the Adams year and this year. but they move back into round 3. Next year, they move back into the first round. I mean, to get that third first rounder. Next year, they truly just have 3 1s going into the draft, which is unbelievable. So that's crazy, man. Kyle said,
hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.